A warm welcome to Disky Talk with Liolo. If you're tuning in for the very first time, I do ask that you please subscribe and hit that notification bell. If you've been a part of this journey, I hope you thoroughly enjoy this episode. So, on today's episode, I discuss all things Kaizer Chiefs as I have a tactical feature focus of their latest signing. So, on today's episode, then, the focus will be on Tebogo Potsane and Pule Mmodi as well. So when we have a look at it then, we will then start with Pule Mmodi. So when you look at Pule Mmodi, he is a left winger, but he is right-footed. This is a player then who was playing for Golden Arrows in the past couple of seasons. He has now joined Kaizer Chiefs in this transfer window. And this is a player then that will be looking then to add quality and add value to this Kaizer Chiefs side. However, when you look at then his skill set, what type of player is he? So, like I did mention, Pule Mmodi is a left winger. So he does look to start off the left-hand side. He's right-footed. He's very quick. He's very skillful. He's creative, and he's got an eye for goal as well. So this is a player then and a winger who has been scoring consistently within the DStv Premiership over the last 3 seasons. So he averages about 5 goals within the DStv Premiership, and he also creates big chances consistently, and he does get quite a number of assists as well. So when you do have a look at Pule Mmodi, this is a player then who does bring about some quality to this Kaizer Chiefs side, especially considering that then on the left-hand side, Kama has not renewed, and also when you consider the fact that they haven't really had a winger from the left-hand side who has been able then to ensure that they perform consistently. So we did see Ashley Dupree playing off the left-hand side in the beginning of last season, but as the season progressed, he then played then his more favored position, which is as a striker up front. But when you then consider the fact that we are yet to see how Molefe will set up, so it does become very interesting to see then with regards to what will happen to Pule Mmodi, because when you do have a look at him, then I do think that he is a player that would offer a lot of impact and a lot of value coming off the bench. But like I did mention that Kama has not renewed, and also mentioning the fact that Dupree did play off the left-hand side. So depending then on how Coach Molefe goes about things, it still remains to be seen whether Pule Mmodi will be a starter or he will be a player that will be looking then to come off the bench and add that value, because we do know that there is also Ranga that they signed up front. So also depending on the formation as well that Molefe does go with. But with Pule Mmodi, this is a player then who does start off the left-hand side, does look to drift in onto the inside within that left-sided half space. A player then who likes isolating his man 1v1, who possesses then that qualitative superiority in those wide areas in the 1v1s. So he can go on the outside and then cut the ball back in, or he can look to go on the inside and then look to take shots at goal himself, and look then to break into the box and score. And then whenever then he does drift into this left-sided half space, he is very comfortable in possession, in between the lines as well, whenever he does drift. But he is a player then that offers a lot of width, so he does tend to start within this left-wide channel with regards then to his spatial occupation. So that is Pule Mmodi then. It does remain to be seen with regards to what type of system will Molefe instill at Kaizer Chiefs. I think that will be a huge determining factor with regards to his chances of the starting 11, because then if, for example, he does go with a 4-4-2, then you could have Ranga and then you could have Dupree up front. Then it is an opportunity then for Pule Mmodi to start off the left-hand side. But if he does go with a 3-man front line, then I would like to think that Ranga would most likely start up top, which is a player then I will touch on within the coming weeks. I will have a feature focus on Ranga. But as you then have a look at it, then you could also have Dupree coming off the left-hand side. So it does remain to be seen with regards to what will happen then to Pule Mmodi with regards to him going forward. He can also play off the right-hand side, but his much favored side is the left-hand side, where he is then able to cut in, he is able to manipulate the ball, and he is able then to ensure that he can break into the box and then look to finish off. So that is Pule Mmodi then, who does play off the left wing. And then the next player then is Tebogo Potsane. So when you have a look at Tebogo Potsane then, he does play off the right-hand side, and he is left-footed. And when you do have a look at Tebogo Potsane, he did play for Royal AM in the past couple of seasons. When you look at his skill set, then he is a player then who is very quick, he's very skillful, he's a very good ball carrier, and a player then who's well and able with regards to being able to manipulate the ball within tight pockets of space. So unlike Mmodi, with Potsane, he does find himself in more central pockets of space where he's able to drift in. So he is able then to occupy the central channel. He is able to occupy the left side of half space, right side of half space. He also does look at times to start very wide, but a player then who's very comfortable in manipulating the ball within those tight pockets of space where then he is looking to progress the ball into the final third. When you then have a look at Tebogo Potsane with regards to how then you'd fit into this Kaizer Chiefs side, I do imagine then that he would be starting off the right-hand side. And I think then this is a good player with regards to his skill set, and a player then who does also add that value as an impact player, because I do not see him as a starter. I do see him more as an impact player, especially considering that Keegan Dolly does play in this position. And I think then that also does bode well for Kaizer Chiefs, especially considering that in last season they didn't really have quality coming off the bench that could change the game, or they didn't have good options off the bench, whereas I think Tebogo Potsane is a good option off the bench with regards to his technical skill set and what then he can look to offer this Kaizer Chiefs side. However, the drawbacks then when it comes to Tebogo Potsane is that his final end product lacks quite a bit. So this isn't a player then who will get you a lot of assists. He's not very clinical then whenever he does break into the box. And then also then his decision making in the final third would be an area that he can look to improve on, especially considering that he's got a very good skill set with regards to his speed, his creativity, his skill, and being able then to manipulate the ball within those tight pockets of space. If he does work on the things that I did mention, then this is a player who can become very, very good for this Kaizer Chiefs side. When you then have a look at Pule Mmodi, a drawback with him would be then he's inconsistent. So with Pule Mmodi, he is a player then that can go on these runs where he does very well, but then he does also have periods then where he goes very quiet and he isn't as consistent. So that it would be something that he would have to work on. And I also think then that decision making at times within the final third, where sometimes then he maybe releases the ball where he was maybe supposed to carry it and look to dribble. Sometimes where then he looks to take his man on, but he could have actually laid it off. So these are the two new wingers that I have signed for Kaizer Chiefs. At home, do let me know, what do you make of Tebogo Potsane, who is very skillful, is a very quick player, very good ball carrier, who does have certain attributes that he has to work on. He is left-footed, so he would play mostly off the right-hand side. And then when you have a look at Pule Mmodi, who is right-footed, he does play as a left winger. He is looking to come on the inside. He's got goals in him. He creates big chances consistently, and he can also get those assists. So do let me know, what do you make of these signings, and do you think then that they can add value with regards to this Kaizer Chiefs side? Also at home, do let me know, what do you make of Molefe taking over at Kaizer Chiefs, and what formation do you think you'll go with? What do you think his style of play will be? Especially considering then that they've signed 7 players. Some of those players that they've signed are very good players, but then it does become very difficult to imagine or even paint a picture with regards to how do they fit in, because we have not seen what a Kaizer Chiefs Molefe side looks like. However, at home, thank you very much for tuning in to yet another special episode of Diski Talk with Luyolo. Signing out.